There you are.
Ah,
Ah. I was like, am I going to? Somehow, the dream of infinite shadows fell through a dream of infinite mirrors and dissolved into this dream of infinite love. Nancy, how are you?
wonderful to see you.
Good to see you too. Good to see you too. Just a second here. Let me just it's hard to have back to back. Thank you so much for doing this. And can you tell us a little bit about your poetry, exploding rainbows? Can you talk about this and this love?
oh, oh, it's wonderful to see you. I thought I wouldn't be able to see anyone, so it's great to see you. I love you. Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to mute myself so that you're speaking. So.
Oh, okay. Well, this, you can't even say this is it, because there is no this, nor that, nor both, nor neither, and there is no it. All things are imaginary, mentally fabricated. So it's really astonishingly wondrous that this thought stream, made of shared learned words, seems to create this worded world, this magician's tale, this worded world of illusion. But really, it's as substantial as thought. How thick is the word thought? And there is no true or false. How could any words be true or false when true or false are words? So, can't really talk about this because there is no this. And no one to talk about it. So, the poetry seems to work. I never intended to start writing it. I wasn't a poet. I never read poetry, but after a couple years after the shift, it was like it just started flowing, and it goes circular. It spins and spins and spins the dream like all thought. But instead of thought making it feel sometimes like there's something in the middle, it can kind of dissolve the ideas of middles and edges and thingness altogether. So it can leave the brain that's looking for meaning, looking for a place to hold on to, looking for solidity, looking for any kind of certitude, it can just leave it suspended, kind of as a sensuous lostness. And it's wonderful. I don't really ever feel like I'm writing, never feels like I'm doing anything, never feels like there's anyone to do anything. And yet, it's amazing that everything happens all by itself and nothing's happening. But this is as real as it gets. Yeah.
This is from your new book. I really love this. The dream crochets me as I crochet the dream. Ah.
Yeah. I took up crocheting a few years ago, so I do all my clothes. Yeah, after the shift, when it's realized that there is no you, there is no other, that love is made up, when it's realized by no one that there never was a mountain, there never was a goal or a path, it's not the end of love. Somehow it feels like the beginning. Always fresh, new, and amazing, just bursting with sensuousness and aliveness, just life doing itself, edgeless, seamless, with no things or non-things, and yet everything's so spectacular. Every color, the wind that's blowing through the yard, the leaves that are hanging and just shimmering in the sunlight, everything is spectacular, marvelous. Because all time and dimension and causality, all thingness is made up. All measurement occurs within the human brain. It comes from the thought stream. That might feel real. I mean, last night's dream felt real. Yeah, all the characters in your last night's dream, you know, where did they go? Where did last night go? It was never here. And yet it seems that we are memory, that we are this thought stream of memory that's fluid, liquid. We are these stories. And when you hear other people's stories, they become part of this fluid, liquid, flowing portrait, this description, this thought stream that we are, just flowing along naturally, spontaneously. Everything seems to appear and simultaneously dissolve all by itself, without any time, without any edges. The seamlessness is always felt. And yet, also, here we are, loving each other.
There are no words for this seamless beauty. This love has no words, yet it is a word. Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh,
So
thank you.
good.
Thank
Those
you.
are not my words or Nancy's, by the way.
Yeah. If no one listens to my songs, then the singer disappears, because we arise only in each other's love light. There's nothing here, there's nothing there. There is no here, there is no there. And yet seemingly in the sharing, this is where beauty and love arise, only in the dream of separation. So this has nothing to do with trying to get rid of thought. Nothing to do with trying to get rid of the self. What does even that mean? It has nothing to do with all of those things that so many people try to do. I'm like, why would you want to erase yourself? You know, why would you want to get rid of yourself? Because you're so beautiful. Why would you want to escape the stream? You can't escape it. There are no edges. The dream of enlightenment is just no longer believing in the dream, but it's still the dream.
Inescapable.
Inescapable.
No gaps.
No edges, no time.
I, I,
Marvelously of itself so, always.
beautiful. The language of love cannot be understood, for it has no words. Every word sings it.
That's what it feels like. It just feels like love flowing into and through love. You know, edgeless seamlessness, deep, deep currents, light dancing through the waters. It's like the sky and the sea swallow you. And then you're always part sky. You're always this liquidity of love soaring through itself, just so beautifully and miraculously. The astonishment never ends. It just never ends. And the love never seems to end. It's like before I was the eyes of fear, and now it feels like I'm the eyes of love. Love caresses everything. It soothes everything. It erases all the lines, all light, all shadow. Love eviscerates herself. She eviscerates you, and yet you reappear and you discover that you are this longing, that you are desire. Before you were trying to get rid of desire, and now it's like a desire, but it's not a feeling of incompleteness. It's super complete in itself. Just this feeling of loving, pouring through love. It really is quite amazing. I told you at first I called it the big wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yes, yes, yes.
Wow. There's
Wow.
another wow. Wow. There's so many good wows that you have on these pages, and I'm just like, um,
Oh.
just so many. And this is just one book. This book is called "This Dream of Infinite Wonder: Dreaming Itself."
Yeah.
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 Tell me about this collection of poetry that you have?
You mean all my books?
Yeah.
Well, I've got 8 now. Still haven't even scratched the surface because there is no surface. It's like the longing to sing of this, knowing it can't be sung of, the longing to share, knowing it can't be shared and that there's no one to share it with. That seems to define what I am, this flowing, this emptiness overflowing. And emptiness isn't a thing, there are no things, but it's like the river of love overflowed its banks and all these words just soar through. And it's just as natural as the wind blowing. It's natural as just sitting here and saying hello. It's just as natural as anything else. There's not a thought of like, okay, oh, now I got to write a poem today. It's more like words and phrases come through, and then I just watch my hands on the keyboard just slide across. And on Facebook, they have this feature where it says, on this day, and you can look at the memories and stuff you wrote last year. And I don't remember ever writing any of it. It never feels like I'm doing anything. It just feels like it all happens by itself. So it's the end of all ideas of effort and achievement. Yeah, it's lovely to see you.
Isn't memory so bad now?
Memory?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like getting faulty or something?
No, just remembering things. It's just it's. I forgot what I'm going to talk to you about now. Just like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
presence, what I'm saying?
I don't know if I ever had a good memory. It's when there's no feeling like you're separate from thought or emotion, there's never any trying to pinpoint it or look for something solid in it or trying to change it or manipulate it. It just feels wondrous. And so I can't say that, oh, I'm feeling this way or that way. It never feels like there's someone feeling something or thinking something. So thought is memory, because memory really colors all words. The thought stream is colored with memory. Just every word you learned, or the brain learned, or whatever, created this memory, this flow of memory. So every word is colored uniquely by the thought stream that is you. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, it can be kind of terrifying at first to realize that you can never know what someone else is feeling or thinking, and that you are utterly alone. And I think realizing that when I was about 8 is what started this journey, or this seeking, this searching, because it's devastating, and it is a sublime aloneness. Somehow it's wondrous knowing that we emerge only in this thought stream, in these stories shared, that this is where the beauty and the love thrive, igniting each other's love light.
Beautiful. Let's go a little bit hardcore, Nancy. What do you think? What do you think of self-inquiry?
Oh. Well, inquiry would assume that there is someone asking the question. So really any method or technique will perpetuate and solidify the feeling of separation. But I would never tell someone to not do it or do it. Mainly what I would say is there's no you to do or not do anything or nothing. But it all is happening by itself. It doesn't feel like there's someone choosing something. And when I'm talking to someone about anything, I never feel like, oh, there's someone underneath those beliefs or thoughts or feelings choosing stuff. It never feels like there would be there's any solid personas. We are all just these imaginary personas. There's no one under the mask. There's no one under thought. So thought might just go into a self-inquiry thing. Spinning the dream, tightening the noose, so to speak, of that feeling of separation.
There's a message here for you, Nancy, from Srijan. Srijan goes, I love you, Nancy.
Oh, I love you, Srijan. What a beautiful name.
I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I hope so. But and there's an anonymous attendee here asking, how do you make peace with the wildfires?
You mean the California wildfires?
I think that's being referred to here. Yeah.
Oh, that that doesn't make any sense to me. Make peace with them? Um, I don't know. Got any clues? I don't know what they mean. Uh, this peace, this hush, this silence is always on. There's no efforting to try to get it or to capture it because it permeates, it super saturates all and everything. No matter what seems to be going on, it just feels, I would say, perfect, but really there is no perfection or imperfection, but it feels just right somehow, like this utter okayness has flooded the dream of separation and erased all ideas of wrong or right, really. I mean, if someone shot my husband, I would try to get them in jail, but I wouldn't feel like there was someone choosing it, who did it. It's more like that's just what's happening or seems to be happening.
There's a question here from Susan Hill. It sounds like your experiences are beautiful, like a pure land. Can someone who lives in a Holocaust or other horror life still be having a life like you, experiencing all this love as long as they know they do not have a self? Interesting.
Well, there is no one who knows that there is no self. There's no one, there have to be two, right? A self and a non-self or something. I can't speak in hypotheticals. However, it seems like this isn't a realization that only happens in privileged countries at all. It seems like in adversity, this shift can happen too. It doesn't feel like it's circumstantial. So, like I said, I can't really deal in hypotheticals. I don't know. But I know that for 9 years, this ease and this peace and this feeling of love hasn't changed. And obviously, in the character of me and my life, there have been a lot of things going on. I've faced adversity, but even if someone's yelling at you, you feel their pain and you feel it deeply. And somehow it feels beautiful because there's no place for anything to rest or to stick. Um, there's no, you've been turned inside out already. All your secret pockets, all the places you try to hide have been ripped inside out. So you're just totally raw and naked. And the wind just feels good. The wind feels good.
Some people talk about, like the annihilation, life annihilates you or destroys, to have this apparent shift. What's your comment on that one? Like a lot of suffering happens and all of a sudden.
Yes. Well, it seems to be different because I've been talking about this with people for many years, and some people seem to have a slow slide and not really notice the conflagration, the fire, the bursting, and other people it seemed to happen fast. And here it was like a year. So it's hell.
Yep.
Because since you are beliefs, when all these beliefs start to be ripped apart, it hurts. Uh, it can even hurt physically. So it's nothing I would have chosen to go through that. I can't even imagine anyone choosing to go through that. Not that anyone could. It is and there's a lot of terror, a lot of sheer terror. I spent so many nights just feeling like I was lying on a bed of nails, just gripped with terror. I had no idea what was going on. And yet through it all, somehow it always felt just right, that it never felt like I could change it or wanted to change it at all. So it is different for everyone. I think that maybe for some people, if it happens slowly, maybe they don't notice that. And for all we know, some people wake up one day and the perspective is shifted. So it's always different. We are such unique, beautiful stories.
I really love going to your Exploding Rainbows Facebook group. Am I allowed to say
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
I
well,
know it's a secret.
it's a
It's a
secret
secret
group.
group.
Yeah.
And I love
Well,
just speaking there with Michael, and it was just such a. There's this Zoom meeting. You tell us
yeah.
about it. You tell us about it, and I really loved it.
Oh, well, Exploding Rainbows is the group that I formed, 6 or 7 years ago, because Michael, a friend, and I had been just kicked out of so many enlightenment groups because people didn't want to hear that there's no method or practice, and people don't want to hear that there's no God, and you know, people don't want to hear that there's no true self or timeless awareness or something. They can not be this little itty bit self. They can be this big, all-encompassing, magnificent self, the enlightened being or something. So I formed it as a place where people could share what it's like for them. And there's a lot of honest sharing. There's no quotes allowed. Um, it's only sharing what it's like for you. And I've seen a lot of people crash and burn in that group, and it is so beautiful to see the tears, to see this utter devastation, to watch it happen to someone where everything they've believed about themselves and the world is ripped apart, and then to see the ease and love emerge at the end of the crash and burn. So it's a beautiful group. Now we have a Zoom every day, and it's just a few people show up.
I've only been once, and I really loved it. But I'm so busy, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But after the post conference, I'll it's
we've
good.
missed you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people come and they just want to be quiet, and that's fine. I did the statistics on the group yesterday. I was curious, and we have a pretty high participation, about 1,200 people that look regularly at the group. I didn't know that's a new statistic you can find, I guess. So there's a lot of silent members, which is fine. Not everyone is a songster like me, Some people are more quiet, and that's beautiful.
So
Yeah.
let's go back to that other mention. Is that a lot of people might be, let's go a little bit radical. And I asked this question before. What is God?
Oh, God is an idea like you. I imagine people have all kinds of ideas of what God is. As far as I knew growing up, people believed that God was the creator or the source of all of this. And I mean, even as a kid, I never could jive with that. It always just seemed like the world did itself. How could someone or thing create all of this? So, but it's a big belief. It's pretty basic. I've seen that belief crash and fall for people, but it's a big one. Yeah,
That is a massive one, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's the next question? What is love?
Oh,
Oh,
love's
that.
another idea. What? Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, love's another idea, like you and me and enlightenment. Um, at first, I hesitated using the word love because I heard other people say, "You are love," and it sounded like another thing, another handhold, like timeless awareness or source or God or big self, true self. But it really comes the closest to what this feels like. This seamlessness, the feeling of no separation, and also the feeling of separation, merging, like we can never touch, really, because it's our imaginary lines that we are. And yet somehow in the sharing of these stories, the lines seem to dissolve, and it feels like love. So this is what it feels like. It's different from love, the ideas of love I had before. So that's maybe why I was hesitant to use it. But now, like, half my books have that in the title. So obviously I got over that one.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
um, There's a comment here. Every word you share is so love.
What a beautiful thing to say. Thank you. Yeah.
I was trying to get jokes earlier. What is the biggest joke that you know?
Joke? I don't know.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
What's a good joke? Oh, I'm not a jokester. I don't know. Some people are really funny. I'm more of a tear-stained type of
You
girl.
are. You are. You are. And I'll get started. I'll start crying too.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a jokester. Some people are really good at making you laugh.
uh, how are you levitating right now, Nancy? How high up are you?
No one to levitate, but it does feel like that. It feels like floating, soaring. Like at first, when this happened, it felt like I was dissolved in the bottom of a deep, deep sea that didn't really have a bottom or top or edges, you know. And then when the fullness rushed back in, it felt like I was just rising up to the top and exploding into the sparkles. And so it feels like both, but it always feels effortless. It always feels effortless. Never feels like there's someone doing life or that life's happening to someone. It just feels like this soaring, floating liquidity of love. Yeah.
Someone's asking here, hey Nancy, was there a particular, this is art actually, was
Hi,
there a
Art.
particular belief that fell away for you that was the most painful or most liberating? Good question.
Um, I don't remember a lot of them. I didn't keep a journal. I noticed some were really strong and you could really tell, and others it seemed like you didn't notice until later. Like this whole swath of your life has been dissolved. All these beliefs are just gone. But I sometimes tell the story because this is quite memorable. At the very beginning, when I realized that nothing I'd ever done had brought me one bit closer to whatever it was that I was looking for, I had no idea. It was just a feeling of utter astonishment and shock. Numb, totally numb for like a month. And then I had a few days where everything just was amazing and light filled and wondrous. It wasn't thinglessness, but everything felt just mind bogglingly beautiful. And then I was just slammed into this deep, deep grip of fear and sadness. And that belief was years and years before, like 10 years before that, I had cured myself of breast cancer by changing my diet. And it had always niggled me in the back, you know. Was it the belief in the diet that did it, or was it the diet? Because I thought if the belief went away, then I would die. I would get breast cancer again and die. And so I was just gripped with this terror. And then both of the beliefs went away, really. Someone said, well, what was the outcome? It's like, I don't know. It just wasn't an issue anymore. So that was the first one. And then from then on, there were little ones or big ones. Someone would be saying something and I go, oh, I don't believe that anymore. So, but that's the only one I really remember. Yeah.
There's a
Great question,
question.
Art.
Yeah, great question. I like that one too.
Yeah.
Dijana asked that I heard you say that the year before the shift, you felt like your life excruciatingly tore away. What was that about? Thanks.
My life was excruciatingly what?
Tore away.
Tore away?
Like tore away, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What was it like? Hell. Yeah. It's but there was not a constant. So there'd be periods of deep, deep grief, sadness, depression, and then periods of unutterable joy. and then back and forth, and peppered with impending doom and fear. And about 6 months into it, joy and sorrow seemed about the same. And I thought, well, this is going to be good. Whatever this is going to be good. So yeah, it was not pleasant, but it wasn't constant. Still going to work and, you know, living my great life with my husband and walking in nature and doing all the things that we do. So it was an internal battle. And in the end, no one won. And no one lost. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
uh, People are asking on how to join your Zoom, you know, the Exploding Rainbows Zoom.
Well, they would have to message me to friend me.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
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 It's a secret group.
It's a secret
It's
group.
a secret group.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a question that I missed here from Dushant. Why can't I today see the mountains behind you, ma'am?
Why can't they see the mountains behind me?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
well,
question.
because I'm at a friend's house because I don't have a good signal at my house. And this is her side yard and that's her shed. Yeah. You can always look up pictures of Zion National Park and then you can see it.
There's another question here. How do you keep up with news and the election drama?
Well, I would have to say that the passion play continues. And still this persona is opinions and beliefs. So there are certain things that are concerning and certain things that aren't. The main thing I would have to say about this and like relationships, etc., is that there is care, but there is no concern about a never arising next. There's no hope or fear or need of any result. So that makes everything more free than free, really. So yes, like my dad's 89, and I'm concerned about him. I love him, but I'm not worried. You know, so it's like that. Does that make sense? And so that would be same with anything that seems to be happening. I mean,
And
if the sky falls, you know, we'll either figure it out or we won't. You know, I mean, it's kind of like that.
the questions that kept on coming up in this conference, and I think I've seen it like maybe 30 times, is free will. What's
Oh,
your take on free will? I know we did this before already, but if
yeah.
you want to share it to the conference,
Well,
that'll
there
be
is
much
no
better.
one separate from life to even have free will, and there's really no separate things to choose from. So that's just doesn't make any sense. You know, I mean, I could say I'm preferences. So I'll go to the refrigerator and pull out an apple or a banana, but there's no, gee, you know, should I eat shit today or should I eat an apple? I am these preferences. You know, I like warm weather and all of that stuff. So the whole idea of there being someone who has free will and being separate things to choose from, it's just the dream. And truly, I mean, you can't go back and prove that you could have done something else. So, I mean, intellectually, you can grasp that it's impossible to say. It doesn't make any sense.
The thing that is common that keeps on coming back over and over today is the story of me. You know, people are always talking about the me. And I
Yeah,
know I talked to you about this already, and I love
yeah.
your take on it. Please share.
Oh, well, I am a story. You know, there's no one underneath the story. There's no one telling this story. It's just, I am this story. I am this thought stream. This isn't about becoming a non-self. When it's realized somehow that there are no things, there are no non-things, there is no self, no other, no love, it's not the end of the dream. It's the dream as well. And so I'm still here. You know, I can't find anything here. Nothing can be found. Nothing can be found there. So we are these stories, and it's really beautiful to share stories. This isn't the goal of this. Isn't this emptiness, which a lot of people, I think, they think this is the goal. And indeed, when this was going on for me, I thought, oh, this is the goal, is this utter emptiness. But you can't live there. It's nothing to write home about. It doesn't feel bad or good. It's just empty, even of emptiness, right? And so simultaneously, there is this fullness, and there really is no fullness or emptiness, but simultaneously, inseparably, there are both. So it just feels like you're living in between love and nothing at all. Here we are, there is no mountain, but we're walking along this path on the mountains, falling in love.
Someone just made a comment here that they can't see your face and
Oh.
eyes. They want to see you because they love you. There you go. Another one that I really like you saying is loving itself. Can you please expand on that one?
Well, it feels like what self is like an imaginary membrane or a prison between imaginary inside and outside. So this skin of thought. So, and through this self, this imaginary self, it's like love kisses itself. It's like life gets to see and smell and taste and touch and hear itself through you. So it feels like love falling in love with itself. Without this imaginary separation, there is no love. There's not even anything called life or a universe or trees or mountains, or there's not even nothing. So this dream of separation is where we live in love. This is where beauty is. There is no beauty without imaginary separation. There is no apple, nothing to taste.
You said, how I gathered words that seem to hold an ineffable magic. Can you talk about ineffable magic?
Just more phrases that come through to try to illustrate, not to grasp, but try to illustrate this feeling of seamlessness and the magic of thingness simultaneously. I don't really recall those words, but and there's 8 books, so I don't know. But it's just words, twists of phrases that arise. For example, the very beginning of that last book, my husband and I were camping and we were walking up a canyon, and I saw something and I said, oh, there, I'm a tuning fork for wind. That's just how it came out. I didn't try to think of now what's going on. It wasn't like, let's try to explain this or really even illustrate it. There's never any feeling of effort. So that's how a lot of things happen. The phrases just, I wake up in the morning a lot of times and the phrases are coming out. And so that's what's going on.
There's another one that's great here. You cannot hide love. It is not yours or mine.
Yeah. There's no one to own anything, and there are no things. But I think I probably say that a lot because it always felt like, really, there was a great fear to love so deeply that you would lose yourself and that you would lose love and it would no longer be yours. And this is what it's like. It's like your heart is ripped open, and now all there is this edgeless, seamless love that resonates when stories are shared, and that's like sourceless echoes in a canyon of reflections or something. So words like ineffable, I don't know, just the words just come through.
Beautiful. Let's go a little bit more of some concepts that people always ask about.
Okay.
Another concept that people always get tripped up is time. People would
Yeah.
say that if time is not real, how come? You explain it. You're
Oh,
good at
well,
this.
all measurement comes from the brain, from these shared learned words. So there really aren't separate moments or separate thoughts. And if there were, you could go, as life is happening, you could go, oh, here's the beginning of a moment, here's the end of a moment, here's the beginning. But you can't. So there really no separate moments or events can be found. But language, the thought stream, seems to create them. Yesterday, tomorrow, something called a now. And that's the story of who we are on a timeline in between birth and death. So in the shift, it's like before you were walking this razor's edge on a tightrope, really, between birth and death. And like you're terrified of falling and you're terrified of reaching the end because you're this terror. And so when all of those ideas are just recognized to be just more ideas, then it no longer feels like that. Yeah, of course, you know, tomorrow I'll do something at this time, but that's the story. It's not like the dream is escaped. It's not like it ends. It's just not believed. And yet, so separation isn't really felt. So the idea of time, it's a great idea. But like I said, without thought, without language, there's not even a universe. All this measurement, people think, oh, well, these are the laws of the universe, like the law of gravity or something. And that comes from our brain. It's description. It's not really understanding anything. It's just describing. And in this describing, people feel like they understand. But really, there are no things to understand. So understanding is a misunderstanding.
Everyone seems to talk about the mind. Isn't there no there's such thing as a mind? Why does
Mind,
everyone talk about the mind?
oh, mind is just another word for the thought stream that you are, that paints our world. Yeah.
Why do everyone discuss mind and this and that and thoughts and everything? And it becomes kind of like a focal attention in liberation or whatever that is. And it's always about the mind. You know, if you can expand on that a bit more. I think I'm just remembering something that you said before that was like, it was a wow. And I was just
Oh,
trying
oh,
to
gee,
bring
if I
that
could
back.
only
I
get it back.
know, I know. If you can only get it back.
I don't know. I don't listen to other speakers. I really don't have time. I'd rather talk to people live or in Messenger or something. It's, to me, that is where the intimacy is. That's the best, is this honest intimacy and sharing. Mind does this or that. I don't know, maybe they mean brain. I think that it's natural when there's a feeling of separation, that you're separate from thought and feeling, that you want to change it all the time. You're trying to subdue it, or, you know, I wanted to think smart thoughts. Yeah. And I wanted to have happy feelings and soft, fluffy things all the time. So that's quite natural. And there are all these ideas of perfection, of what you should think, what you should feel, how you should live, love, and die. And when those are all gone, it's wondrous. There's no more feeling of that there's a right way to be or think or feel. But people get into that, all those trying to change thought. It's totally natural. I sure did. You know, I wanted to. I did my years of meditation. You know, so I understand. Yeah.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
Caught in the collision between time and timelessness.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's like never and forever collide. And you're in the middle, and it's a train wreck on both sides. What does that say about what happens to you when there is no more tomorrow? You know, what are you going to do? Well, it's all gone. You know, it's like before your life is on that train, and it just hits that brick wall that's a million miles thick, and everything stops. All that momentum, all that trying, all that efforting, all that fear, all that worry, all that hope, it's all gone because there is no tomorrow. And it's wonderful. There never was. Yeah, there was never anyone walking a timeline.
Beautifully said. I really like that one. See, that's what I was talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, that's there's also another thing that everybody talks about is the dream. What is this dream that everyone's talking about?
Well, it's not really a dream. It's just, people call it the dream of separation, because there really are no separate things, no separate people, no separate events, moments, selves, others. But it's a good analogy because people know how real their dreams feel, how bright the light is, how tasty that apple was, and how real the other characters seem. And so when you wake up from the dream, there's a recognition that the dream wasn't real. And yet the dream of separation cannot be woken out of. There's no one to wake up from it. It's more like awakening to the dream or within the dream, because the dream of enlightenment is still the dream. And every word said about the dream paints the dream just like this. It's magical, totally magical. But there's no it and no magic.
Perfect.
It's so lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you too, Nancy.
Yeah.
This one, I really like it. Love washes away the script that no one ever read. You wrote that too.
Okay. Yeah, no one really writes life. I would say that the story continues, and yet it doesn't feel like there's someone there to read it anymore. No one feeling separate from it that wants to change it or manipulate it. So yeah, it's like if you think of songs that you almost heard when you were a baby, a lullaby in another room, in another lifetime, and it kind of haunts you through your life, this song that, and you're always trying to get back to it. You're always trying to listen. You're trying to hear it, taste it, feel it, touch it. You're trying to enunciate it. You're trying to hold it, to capture it. It's like a dream of love that you're trying to dance with again. And it's so beautiful. And you can't find it. And when it's realized that you can't find it, you can't see it, maybe you are it, but there's really nothing here to be it. It's like the song takes over. The love weaves itself into all and everything and just soothes the dream of separation. Because the dream of separation that we are includes this overwhelming aloneness. So love is the soother that makes life possible, that makes living possible. Because even people, even if it still felt like, oh, I'm separate and I can control thoughts and this and that, that incredible aloneness is the dream that we all share, that we all are. Everyone is utterly, completely alone, and yet there's love. I mean, that just gives me goosebumps.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah,
It's that aloneness, right? There's
yeah,
aloneness, and then there's and then it's not separate from what we say love.
yeah.
It's just. Do you like dancing?
Well, let's see. My husband and I were dancing in the kitchen this morning.
I'll go over there and I'll DJ for you and we'll dance. We'll do a dance party.
It was more of a slow dance.
Oh, okay.
Slow dancing in the kitchen. Yeah.
Nice. That's a good one too. That's a good one too. This one I really, really love. How deep is love when there is no height, no depth, no surface or edge, no water, no wetness in this ocean of love? It's like a modern Rumi, beautiful
It does sound beautiful. Yeah, there's nothing can be said. There's nothing to talk about. Love seems to fill in the shadows and light, and create edges so that we can meet, but never really meet. So love is not a thing, but it seems like a thing as soon as you say it. But there are no things or absence of things.
I completely forgot about all these questions because I just got caught up, just
Oh,
there's this question from Dushant. Ma'am, is Hanuman your friend?
Hanuman,
Yes.
the monkey god? Oh,
Yes.
I have something to say about that because my husband and I spent many winters in India traveling. And when this first happened, it felt, I remember clearly the picture of Hanuman when he's ripped open his chest, and it feels like that. So that's all I have to say about Hanuman. He's a cute little guy, like his tail.
Julia asked, what do you mean about this shift? It sounds like a once and for all event that happens.
Yes, it's a complete and utter profound shift in perspective. So it's like one moment it's this way, and then without any moments, all ideas of separate moments are gone. So yes, and it doesn't go away. At first I thought, oh, this is a special state or something I've read about, but several weeks into it, I went, wow, I just couldn't imagine putting the blinders back on. I couldn't imagine just that feeling of looking through a tube at the world anymore instead of this all and everything all at
Like
once.
ripped wide open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ripped wide open. Any more questions?
Yes, Terry.
Okay.
Isn't mind the way we experience life? All senses plus thoughts, feelings, etc. Without mind, no experience.
Without the thought stream or mind, there is no experience or experiencer. There's no thing called thought without thought. There's no thing called feeling without thought. So if you say that mind is the thought stream, then yes. Without thought, there is no forest, there are no trees, there is no falling, there is no sound. Thought is this flowing description that seems to paint our world of separate things and events. So yes, that's all happening inside your noggin.
Beautifully
But that's
said.
also a description. I mean, saying that it's all thought is the dream too. Saying it's all happening from the brain and in your noggin, that's the dream too. So it's all weaving the dream. Every word is just weaving, spinning the dream. And if it feels like there's someone inside of this spinning, and it does. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. It's just how it's going on. I think you're muted.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Susan Hill goes, soul or subtle mind is also spoken of. What is that? What is soul and what is subtle mind?
I have no idea. Subtle mind, soul. I don't believe in a soul. I don't think there's anything unchanging that would survive death or even anything that is in life. That there's no things that are unchanging. There's no permanency, and really there's no change either, because change and non-change are just description. So
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Now you're muted.
I'm muted again. Sorry.
It's okay.
So magnificent. Beautifully said, Nancy. Love you. From Anonymous with heart in a rose.
Oh, thank you, hearts. Thank you, hearts. What were you about emojis? I love them.
That's right. I know. GS questions. Hello. My question is, what is consciousness?
Consciousness is just another idea, like love. I think that it's a looking for something permanent, for solidity, looking for something that's not changing, like awareness, all of those things that the people are looking at. Maybe they're not this little itty bitty self, but they're something far grander. I'm not these stupid thoughts and emotions. I must be awareness or consciousness. That's how I see it. I haven't really looked into it much because all those ideas were blown apart at once.
Beautiful. There's another question here from G. What about other realms like angels and other kingdoms? Do they are a part? So are they a part of the dream? I'm just
Oh, yes.
angels.
Yes. How wonderful. Isn't it wonderful that the brain can imagine all these things like purple unicorns on the moon and angels flying by and sea creatures that no one's ever seen and aliens and it's absolutely spectacular that there's this wonder and there's this capacity to create all of these things, like creating instruments to try to see colors that we can't see, that only certain birds and butterflies can see. Just all this incredible creativity. How amazing, how wonderful.
Beautiful. We have a couple of minutes left,
Oh,
and
wow.
it went so fast. I don't
I
know what.
know.
I know. We're just getting started. We didn't get to the juicy parts and everything. I I do have an interview. I do have
Oh,
one interview with you, and we just kind of like went hardcore. Remember that
yeah.
one? The last
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm gonna release it. I'm gonna release it because
Okay.
I think this was a little bit well, it's a conference. Oh, there's another question here.
Oh, good.
Okay. What place does inspiration have? From Ian.
Inspiration? You mean in the writing of the poetry? Mm,
Um, Let me reread it again. Just a second. Let me reread that again. What place does inspiration have? Does inspiration have a place? I'm not really sure.
yeah, that's a hard one. Um, I can't answer that. I don't know. Inspiration, it sounds like breathing in, breathing out, words
Okay.
held in the mouth.
He messaged back. Does inspiration in life? Thank you so much, Ian, for clarifying that. Have a place. What place does inspiration in life have?
Well, inspiration is ideas coming. Is that what that is? Ideas just come. It's all ideas. It all happens by itself. Does it have a place? Um, as far as there being a hope for something like that, I don't know. Um, inspiration. That's not anything that I would ever think about or consider. When it's realized that life does itself, all and everything, all by itself, there's not a feeling that trying to control it or pin your hopes on one thing or another. There's no more hope, really. Then there's no more fear. So maybe it's all inspiring. It's awe-inspiring.
Aha.
Yeah.
There's another question here. Out of body experiences, were there actually experiences? Are out of body experiences are actually experiences? I'm just trying to.
I think it's just more of the brain's incredible creativity. Um, just like the whole idea of life after death. After someone dies, then we remember them. Maybe we have dreams about them, and we want them to still be alive. So all this stuff is invented, and it's wonderful. It's very comforting for people. And same with out of body experiences. It's never anything I really got into, but it seems like it's just another dream. I don't think it's ever been ever proven that someone has actually gone into another room and said, okay, there were 3 apples on the table while I was asleep here. So I don't think anything like that's ever been proven. But again, it's like aliens on the moon or colors we can't see or just all of the wondrousness that the human brain is capable of. It's beautiful.
I agree. I agree. Thank you so much for sharing all of this love songs with us today. So
Thank you.
beautiful. There's one that I want you to this one. Slowly, slowly flowing, love falls back into itself. Ocean song sings itself, and we are its wetness.
Mm, beautiful. Yeah. You can see how the songs aren't really meant to take you anywhere. There's no understanding. Um, I think that's why I like them so much. There's no place to rest in the song. It can be compelling, and it can be soothing, and it can be scary depending on who's listening to the
Yeah, yeah,
song.
that's true. It can
Yeah,
be this the feeling of utter aloneness, you know, and yeah,
yeah,
but that's just
yeah,
another experience. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
yeah.
people are asking about oh, last question is where is life?
Where?
Yeah.
What time is it on the sun? Oh, well, can you find any edges to what's going on? Can you find an edge? Is there an outside? Can you step outside of it and look back at it? Can you add something to life? Where would it come from? Can you take something away? Where would it go? Where is where? What is what? There are no whats. There are no things. All location, all ideas are ideas. All ideas are illusion. Illusion is illusion. Illusion is thought. Thought is thought. You can see it's just a spinning web of thought painting this world. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm going to be talking to Paul Morgan Summers tomorrow,
Oh, he's
and
beautiful.
he is, yes, and he talks about it's like drunkenness, intoxicatedness,
Yeah.
it's the way that he explains it. The he's really good with explaining, not really explaining, expressing. I don't even know what to say, but thank you
I
very.
use the words intoxication.
Yeah, thank you so much for this intoxicating loveliness, aloneness
Mm,
with you.
mm.
People are asking, and they'll probably look for you on Facebook and just message you because people
I
want
have to
to.
message because
You
I
have
get
to
a lot of
message.
friend requests and I can't. I used to ask everyone, why do you want to be my friend? And I got people wanting to sell me Bitcoin or,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I get a lot of requests now because of the conference, and I think I've reached like 5,000. I'm like, oh, I have to delete now because I can't add anymore.
yeah. You have to
Uh,
become a public figure. And I'm
no,
really just kind of
no.
a housewife who writes poetry type of girl. So, I don't want to become a public figure.
It
Yeah.
was lovely speaking to you, and
Mm,
thank you so much for doing this conference. We'll do more duets like this.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's
can't
great to
wait to.
see you.
Great to see you.
I
Love
love
you.
you. Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.